Troy from Zia Comics here, and I've got the last leg of my Ireland trip. It went by way too quick. Now, when most people say Ireland, the thing that pops in your mind is typically Dublin. That's people associate that with the word Ireland, even though there's a lot of other really cool places there. So that was my last stop, and let me show you what I saw. The public transportation over in Ireland was top notch. We took the bus ride over, and you got to take in all the greenery. They call it the Emerald Isle for a reason. Lots and lots of green stuff growing, being from the desert. I haven't seen that for a while, so it was a welcome addition. I included this picture to show you that religion's still big. They have a church next to a church. Stayed in a hotel right across from the main transportation hub. As you can see, buses, trains, everything all converged right here in that one station. Here's a little peek at the inside of our hotel room. Nothing big, but it served its purpose. Went out for a walk around the town, and they always had these look right signs on the sidewalk because, well, they drive on the other side of the road and they don't want tourists to get hit. Dublin is a very good city to walk around in. They have all kinds of beautiful scenery. They have a lot of statues, a lot of murals, and it's just really easy to walk around there. It's kind of built for walking. You don't have to worry about traffic. I seem to have a knack for finding things like this. These little statues were out there guarding the tops of this tavern. And yeah, first thing I noticed was Batman next to Dracula and Lady Death. It was just really cool. I may be wrong, but if you have to advertise that you're totally Irish in the middle of Dublin, maybe something's not right. The world famous Temple Bar District. This area used to be really run down and full of miscreants, criminals, drug addicts, what have you. And they were going to tear everything down in this area and build some other stuff. But then, the people said, no, we want to revitalize this. And, it was a big undertaking, but look at it now. It's a very vibrant area, lots of pubs, taverns, little shops. Really, really cool area. And look at all that, it got me a little thirsty, so I went up here and got me the beer of Dublin. In the heart of the Temple Bar District is the Temple Bar. This place is amazing. We were out here middle of the day, middle of the week, and there was still no place for us to go and sit. It was slammed full. It was just a really, really cool bar. They had just about every liquor and beer you could think of. Like I said, here we go. We waited around for, I don't know, a good half an hour. No seats ever came open. There was a big waiting list. People were standing and drinking. It was just, I was mind blown at just how many people were in this little bitty bar. But like I said, it's world famous, and there's a reason everybody wants to be here. Never got a seat, but we did walk around and film all the people drinking. If you ever have a chance to go to Dublin, please go to the Temple Bar District and at least walk through the Temple Bar. Look at this. It's crazy, the amount of liquor and beer and just the sheer amount of bodies that they fit into this place. What's a visit to Dublin, Ireland, without going to the National Leprechaun Museum? Couldn't take pictures inside, so this is all you get. And like a moth to the flame, I always seem to find these toy stores or the really cool pop culture related stuff. This one I had to show you just because of the animatronic dinosaurs they had inside. Wow, I don't know why the slide's in there, but hey, the dinos were cool. Had to get a video of that for you guys. Then right around the corner, Gamers World. I found a game store in Dublin, Ireland. It was really well stocked too. All that walking around and shopping made me hungry. And if you're wondering, fungi is mushroom. So I grabbed us some pizza, some pastry, and a little coffee there to drink so we could refuel and go on our next part of the trip. Had to grab a taxi for our next stop. It was about a 5-mile drive out to Clontarf Castle out on the Dublin harbor. They had a very decorative gatehouse here, and you could walk up. They had an actual walkway through the gatehouse. Very well appointed. It was very scenic. Loved it. And then you come around the corner and bam, look at this. This castle is amazing. They added a lot of rooms. I believe there's 100 and some rooms in the modern section, but they did modernize it. Very nice. It's a 4-star hotel. Beautiful. Had to come here because how many people can say that they've slept in an actual Irish castle? But like I said, it's been modernized. We have the automatic doors, everything that you expect in a 4-star hotel and more. This place is amazing. If you don't stay there, you should at least go and visit. The Clontarf area is famous for the Battle of Clontarf back in 1014. Now, they've had a castle on these grounds since 1172, but the castle, as you see it in these pictures, that was built in 1837. Now, this castle has quite a bit of history. It's been passed from the Templars to the Hospitallers to a various sundry group of different people. It has served as everything from a bar, a cabaret, and now a hotel. Some popular cabaret comedians have even had their live recordings made here. The castle is even mentioned by Phil Lynott of the Thin Lizzy rock band group in the song The Friendly Ranger at Clontarf Castle. It's part of their opening track on their 1971 debut album. The famous composer Handel was a frequent visitor to the castle. There's a reason for that. The lady of the house, Dorothy Vernon, she was particularly intimate with the composer. Clontarf Castle reopened as a 4-star, 111-room hotel in 1997. There's a lot of history associated with this castle, some old, some recent. And you can see they've done a great job of modernizing it, and it's just a very enjoyable place to spend a night. Checked into the room after all that castle exploring, and I worked up an appetite, so I went to check out the 4-star restaurant. It did not disappoint. It was great food, great atmosphere, befitting a 4-star hotel. I could see an old church and graveyard from the hotel room window, so I decided to go and do some exploring over there. Now, unfortunately, couldn't get in from this side. The gate was locked tight, and I don't know how long that bike had been there. So we followed the wall around to the main entrance, the St. John the Baptist Cemetery. It was open, so figured, let's go check it out. It was a nice sunny day here in Dublin, Ireland. And it was just a really, really old cemetery. A lot of these dating back to, 1800s. And this church, or what used to be a church, very, very cool looking. But you couldn't go inside because, it's not very stable. And they had to put up bars because dumb tourists like myself would probably try to go in there and the whole thing would cave in on them. So as you can see, there were some very ornate headstones. Not all of them being well maintained. Some are. You can see that one was about to fall over. But a lot of these were really, really cool. Here's one of them that nobody's been taking care of. Seawater baths used to be all the rage back in the 1800s. They all thought that there was some medicinal healing properties in the seawater. Well, Clontarf has their own called the baths. And they have an enclosure where they bring in seawater right there from the harbor, lightly chlorinate it, clean it. So it's really clean. You're not actually in the harbor, and you get all the benefits of the seawater without, getting stung by a jellyfish. It was a really cool place. Unfortunately, Dublin was the last stop on my Ireland trip. Had to grab a flight back to Heathrow and fly back here to the desert in New Mexico. Ireland was beautiful, lots and lots of history. Barely scratched the surface of the stuff I'd like to see there, but I'd have to spend a year to see all the really cool stuff in Ireland. I'm sure we'll be back.